hopefully your Wednesday is off to a good start. Mine is so far. I'm here outdoor office, obviously, on just a great November morning. Second cup of coffee, and this is Battleship North Carolina mug. I have a thing for old ships. I've been thinking about what I want to do for these Wednesday mornings, and I think for the next several weeks I'm going to revisit a topic that I preached a series of sermons on once upon a time. I preached a series of sermons once on spiritual urban legends, spiritual myths. These are slogans or cliches that might sound good and sometimes might be said or used with the best of intentions, but which are actually false, which are actually pretty bad theology. And there are any number of these out there, the spiritual urban legends, things that we say that might work for a bumper sticker, but which, when you look at them, are bad theology, simply not true. So for today, I'm going to drum roll, please. If there are any percussionists out there, drum roll, please. I'm going to start off with this one. Christianity is a relationship, not a religion. So that is the first spiritual myth that I think needs to be debunked. The idea that Christianity is a relationship and not a religion. So here's if you can Google that phrase, and you'll get 500 million different responses to it, 500 blue million different hits for that simple phrase. And if you start looking at them, you'll see something like this come up over and over again. One thing that I read said this: religions are man-made and are based on trying to get to God through rules and regulations and good works. So I found that just this morning. Religions are man-made and are based on trying to get to God through rules and regulations and good works. Also found this one. Many people have come up with religious rituals that are meant to cleanse them from sin and make them acceptable before God. Throughout their lives, they follow the rituals and say they are spiritual. And if you look through hit after hit for Christianity is a relationship, not a religion, you'll see things like that over and over and over again. That religion is a system of rules that we follow, that a lot of times man-made rules, regulations that we follow, and if we follow all the rules, then God will be happy with us. In other words, when we say that phrase, Christianity is a relationship, not a religion, we are essentially mirroring what we all know, that actually when we say that phrase, we are saying that religion becomes synonymous with works righteousness. That religion equals works righteousness, and religion equals our attempts to get to God by following the rules. Now, I agree that our faith is not about what we do. Our faith is entirely about grace and about faith. It is not based upon what we do. It's not based upon any set of rules that we follow. Apart from God's self-revelation, we can't even know Him. We cannot please God apart from faith. In and through Jesus Christ, we have a relationship with God. Those are all absolutely rock bottom core Christian tenets. So what is wrong with the phrase, though? What's wrong if those statements that I just said are core tenets of our faith? What is wrong with the phrase Christianity is a relationship, not a religion? And the difficulty with the phrase is this, that it essentially sets up a straw man. Definite of religion. If you're familiar with argumentation and means of argumentation, one of the things that people do sometimes is they set up a straw man. You prove your point by disproving something that's not even real to begin with. So straw man is really a false definition of religion. The term religion, if you're going to quote two pretty high authorities, the Oxford Dictionary. Religion is the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods. That's the Oxford Dictionary. Merriam-Webster. Religion is a personal, set, or institutionalized system of religious beliefs, attitudes, and practices. Those are like textbook dictionary definitions of what a religion is. And by those definitions, Christianity it's a religion. And there's nothing objectionable theologically with those definitions. So when people argue that Christianity is a relationship, not a religion, I think they're, like I said, setting up a straw man. So let's delve into this topic just a bit more. Look at it this way. We believe in God, we know God, and we have saving faith. As believers, we know God through Jesus Christ. We have faith, and that faith is saving faith. And there are things that we're going to do that flow out of that faith. There are actions that we're going to do simply because of what we believe and who we are. Because God is unutterably holy, we as believers should feel a desire to worship Him. And worship is part of religion. But when we worship, we don't do that to earn God's favor. No, by no means. When we worship, it is simply in gratitude for all that God's already done for us. And in reaction to all that God is. Our faith, if it is real, should impact how we live our lives. If our faith is real, it should impact how we live our lives and the actions that we take. And the actions that we take are not any sort of set of rules and regulations to try to please God. Our faith should impact how we live. And our faith should lead us to acts of worship and of service. Religious practices, in other words, come out of the relationship. Religious practices, and there are a lot of them, come out of the relationship. Religious practices, worship, reading scripture, praying, fasting, tithing, working to make the world a better place, a more just place. All of these things are good, and they come out of the relationship that we have with God through Jesus Christ. They are not things that we do in order to earn anything, but they are things that we do that simply flow out of who we are. So the little epistle of James, as they say, hits the nail on the head. James says this: religion that is pure and undefiled before God the Father is this: to visit orphans and widows in their affliction, and to keep oneself unstained from the world. Religion that is pure and undefiled before God the Father is to visit widows and orphans in their affliction, to keep oneself unstained from the world. We, as believers, we seek to serve God, we seek to serve other people, to make the world a more just place, to worship, to study, to pray, and all of these are good. And all of these flow out of the relationship that is there. They flow out of who we are in Jesus Christ. And if there are no outward acts, which some might call workers of religion, if there are no outward acts, then where is the faith? The faith has to be something more than inner warm fuzzy feelings. Our faith, if it is genuine, will show forth in what we do, whether it is in worship or in prayer, study, or fasting, or serving other people. James also said this, that faith without works is dead. You say you have faith, but have not works, where is your faith? Our faith results in things that we do. Our faith results in actions. If we have saving faith, if Christ is alive in us, the Holy Spirit is alive in us, we will want to worship, and we will want to study, both corporately and individually. We will pray, and we will serve others as a natural outflow. And this is not any sort of cheap set of rules and regulations that we follow. They're simply things that we do out of gratitude. So anyway, the first myth, the first spiritual urban legend, and it is an urban legend, it is a myth. Christianity is a relationship, not a religion, and in reality, it is very much one. So, and next week we will get the next one of these. I probably won't tip my hand on what the next one is. You'll have to show up and see for yourself next Wednesday. Have a great week.